Hey, happy hump day. I went to the Foxtail today and I was doing a little bit of research on an idea for another I Can't Even meal. And I was thinking about what protein I had in my fridge, because sometimes we have stuff in our fridge we don't know what to do with it other than to make what it is that we're really familiar with. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna try something new. So I ran across something called Shakshuka, and it looks like, based on the Googles, again, if I'm wrong, I apologize to anyone who actually knows, but according to the Googles, it's an Israeli dish, and it's made of really yummy ingredients that I never would have thought to use together. Well, in the way that it looks. So, really quickly though, this is Irreverent Health's I Can't Even meals. The intention of this is to reconsider like how we use ingredients and take traditional recipes and make them into lean and green, 5-in-1 compliant, amazing meals that are just really yummy and help us live a brighter life and help our bodies feel really great and perform well. If you like this, if you want some more recipes, go to the Irreverent Health YouTube channel. We are 8 subscribers away from 100 when we can start to do some customizations to that channel. Click the subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll have access to all those videos that have already existed, and you'll get access to other ones that are coming in the future. So without further ado, Shakshuka is a meal that is based around some chicken sausage, eggs, kale, and tomatoes. Those are kind of that's the base of it. It's super easy to make. I have a medium heat pan. You can see right here, I have it on this little stove top, and I'm going to spray it with olive oil. If you are someone who's in a particular plan and you need to have some extra fat, you could add some extra olive oil and cook that down. One thing the recipe called for was an actual onion, but guess who forgot to get an onion? And it was me. Also, if you're on the 5-in-1, you have to do powder anyway. So I'm going to start with peppers. One red pepper, chopped up, and for about 2 minutes, I'm going to cook that down a little bit, and I'm probably going to turn it down a little bit. It seems like it's running a little hot. When I saw this dish, it was so gorgeous, you guys. I think I was just captivated by all of the, I was captivated by the colors. So that it has with the egg and the yellow and the reds, and they just look so yummy, delicious, and comforting. If you are having a brunch with someone, you're inviting friends over, if you have a cast iron skillet, you will look like a boss. If you look it up, Google it after you're done. Like literally, it looks so gorgeous, and you can basically put it on top of, like, in the center of the table. It looks incredible. So what you want to do is chop up one medium red pepper, and then let that cook down a little bit. It's about two or 3 minutes. I'm going to turn this back up a little bit because now that's not hot enough. And so if anybody does know how to say shakshuka differently than what I said it, please let me know. But all right, so we've got the red peppers, and now I'm going to add some onion powder. So instead of the onion, which would probably be better, more hearty, I'm going to put in about 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and that'll at least give it the flavor, and mix that in with the peppers. So the next thing you're supposed to do is take chicken sausage. So chicken sausage is really great because it's a pretty lean meat and it's already pre-cooked. So all you're doing is reconstituting it pretty much and browning it. So once the peppers have cooked down a little bit, which is about that time, I think, I'm going to add in 4 chicken sausages, or no, 6. I think that's what I did with the recipe to make it a full, to help with the lean counts. So we're going to brown that. I'm going to put in between 1 and 3 cloves of garlic, depending upon your garlic preferences. And it already smells so good, you guys. Let me see if I can see who's on. Hi. You want to say hi? You're on? That'd be great. I know, I'm not really great at like watching when someone actually says hi or someone gives me a thumbs up. If you're on, would you consider making shakshuka, or have you before? I'm gonna try and wait for a response and see. This is why I don't watch, because it gets a little uncomfortable. It feels like you're on a date and someone's not, responding. All right, while that cooks down just a little bit, I'm gonna give that one more second. The reason I like to use kale is, the reason that anybody should use kale is because it has a lot of nutritional benefits. So number one, it has 3 grams of protein per serving. Super great for your body, you're looking for a vegetable that has a lot of protein, spinach has more, but kale is awesome. Second thing, it has fiber. So fiber, if you don't know, for your body is really, really important. So calories are not all calories are the same. Calories that contain fiber are really great because fiber is almost like a time release capsule. Your body doesn't release all of the nutrients in it. It kind of releases it over time into your body. So it doesn't spike your insulin level, you stay level, and you actually stay fuller longer because your body's basically being fed. We're thinking about a time release capsule. It's being fed a little bit after a little bit. So adding kale to this, it's not going to be like a kale salad, but what it'll do, it'll wilt it down, but it'll still do the job that the fiber is supposed to do. The other thing that it has is vitamins A, C, and K, so, you know, for your vitamins. And then one other thing is it has folate, which is like a B vitamin that helps with brain function. So those are all the reasons why, you know, should engage with kale. All right, so what I've done so far is I chopped up, for those of you just joining, hi. So I chopped up a red pepper and I put onion powder in there because I forgot to have the onion, or to buy the onion. And then I put in, once that was probably like 2 minutes, I added some, what did I do? I added the chicken sausage and then I added the garlic. And so right now we're just browning those things and I feel like it is pretty much ready to go. So now I'm gonna take, now you can get organic, I did not, and do not judge me if you are a Publix person. Seriously, don't judge me. But this thing was $1.29, the other one was $3.99. So if you're on a budget, this is a great way to go. This is one huge can of tomatoes, 28 ounces. If you want to do something less, you could do 12 ounces, I guess. That's another. You just literally just throw that in there. So this is whole peeled tomatoes. So that's gonna act as the really pretty base for this. And then at the same time, I'm gonna add our kale. So it said one bunch of kale, and this is my bunch. But before I do that, I wanna give you a little trick. So a chef one time watched one of my I Can't Even meals, and he messaged me and told me with kale, he saw me cutting the kale out of the rib. This little rib right here is really tough. And so you never want to eat it with anything. It's no buenos. Don't ever do that. By the way, this feels really limp, doesn't it? It feels like it's like not great. I'm gonna use this one. But to get that out, I was cutting it with a knife. You don't have to cut it with a knife. Essentially, you grab the shaft and you pull. Well, that didn't work out. You know what? It has to be hardy. Maybe it's when it's cold. Essentially, you grab the shaft and you pull, and then the kale comes off like that rather than having to cut it. So it was a time saver. So I have a whole bunch of kale that I already did that with, and for whatever reason, that turned limp. So, you know, you can only do so much. All right, so this is all gonna marry together. You don't wanna cook it down so much that it, this is what I read, by the way. I tried to sound like an expert. I just want to be really real with you. This is my first time making this, so I have no idea if it's delicious. The ingredients look delicious, and I also, when I say you wanna make sure, it's only the things that I've read. So, just FYI. What I read was that you don't want to let this simmer too much to where it actually reduces down and gets kind of like gross and kind of cruddy. Like, you know, when you reduce tomato sauce down so much, it's not really pretty or liquidy. Is that a word? Liquidy? No. All right. So that's gonna continue to cook down. As it does, then I have these spices, and this is not part of the recipe, but because I like hot things, I'm just adding jalapenos. Sorry, Israel. I'm sorry, this is me. I don't know if this is your national dish or what, but I'm gonna add some jalapenos because I just like them. The spices that I'm adding are about an eighth of a teaspoon to a quarter of a teaspoon of cumin, cayenne, and paprika, and then probably like a fourth of a teaspoon-ish of salt, all right here. I'm gonna add those in. It adds color and flavor. And we're layering, because that's something I've heard on one of the cooking shows. You guys, did you guys used to watch I used to watch so many cooking shows, like all the time. It would make me hungry though, so I had to stop. So sorry, if this is making you hungry. Hopefully it makes you hungry for lean and green stuff. I don't know. Sorry, that's, anyway. Okay, oh, then next thing is the kale. So now that I have this bunch of kale, I'm gonna put it in here. And again, that's gonna make it super hearty. The kale will wilt down or it should wilt down based on what I read. And then once it does wilt down, we'll add the eggs in there. But while we do, one other thing. So I got a butt ton sounds really gross. I got a lot of kale. I got a whole lot of kale. So I decided I needed to do something with that kale. And I decided I have an air fryer, and so I looked up how to make kale chips. So I looked up a couple different recipes, and I'm trying out a couple. The first one is a little bit of oil, salt and pepper, and something called nutritional yeast. First of all, word yeast is like moist, grossest word ever. So if you can avoid it in a conversation, I think that would be a solid move on your part. But nutritional yeast, if you don't know, tastes like cheese. So for vegetarians and vegans, this is life. There was a time I was vegan for 3 days, and I learned all about it. I'm not kidding, I was vegan for 3 days. I was vegetarian for like a week and a half. But I learned a lot about nutritional yeast. I tried a lot of mac and cheese with nutritional yeast. And it really does. It has a nice little cheesy flavor. So instead of having the negative impact, this is actually good for your body. It's on the 5-in-1. It's part of the condiments list. It's delicious. So I made some kale chips. Essentially all you have to do, no matter what kale chips you have with the air fryer, is take the kale, rip it up into little, as small pieces as you want to after you've washed it. It's really gritty. And then take between, let me just stir this real quick. Stir this down, incorporate all of it. I probably should have cut up the kale a little bit. So FYI, cut up your kale. This is kind of a lot. I need to add more tomatoes. She's okay. All right. So for the air fryer, it doesn't need a lot of oil. That's the cool part about it. So I would take probably, this is going to be like between 3 and 4 cups of kale. I'm going to drizzle this over the top. And I measured this before, and it was about like a tablespoon of oil. And that's part of your healthy fats. The kale would be part of your greens. And you just massage it. You know, if you've been lonely, it's a good thing to get your hands in. You know, single gals, what are you gonna do? Massage the kale. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. I say things, and then I look at myself, and then I realize I'm saying the things. All right, so I've got the oil done. Put a little bit of salt on there. So again, if you're on the 5-in-1, just measure it out. But that wasn't a whole bunch, right? Because what happens with the air fryer is everything gets concentrated. So don't use too much salt because it's kind of gross if you do too much. Here's nutritional yeast. You just need somewhere around a couple tablespoons. And I know this looks like a lot, but I measured it out again before. That was about a tablespoon that I just did there. I'm like an Italian grandmother without the tan. I don't measure. I didn't make the connection there. All right, so, oh my gosh, it smells like cheese. It's amazing. You guys, seriously, try the nutritional yeast. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the air. I'll put it in the air fryer on 370 for between 5 and 10 minutes. Somewhere around minute 3 or 4, you wanna take it out and shake it up. And then what happens is this little gem. So I already cooked some. Wait, where's the camera? Right there. Look at that little guy. He's all, That's good. It's crunchy, a little bit cheesy. It's pretty great. And it's so much faster. I used to try to make, sorry, hair got caught in my face. I used to try to make these in the oven, and it takes like 25 minutes. Nobody's got time for that. So the air fryer, less oil, takes less time, and still delicious, comes out really crispy. That was the other thing, some of mine would come out limp. This air fryer, this is my 3rd batch, and they've all come out really, really great. So, kale in 370. My hands are oily, hold on. All right, for 2 or 3 minutes. So now, I'm hopping back over to my main dish. Main dish, all right. So here's where it's gonna get tricky, because I've never done this before. So one of the reasons this was so beautiful is because what you're supposed to do is create like a little hole in your, like a little hole to put the egg in, and let the egg cook for like 10 minutes in the sauce. And you're supposed to make sure that the yolk doesn't break. If you've met me, I'm like I'm not careful. Like, I'm just not a careful person. I don't know. I'm like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a bull in a china shop or something. So I'm not delicate. I think that's the thing. I'm working on my femininity, but I'm not delicate. So let's just see if this works. You're gonna watch me. If I could show you, I would, or if I could bring you over here, I would. All right, here we go. Oh. Okay, more intimidating than it actually is. That wasn't hard. The one thing I might do though, just for shell's sake, because I would say 1 out of 4 eggs I break, I jack up the shell and it's in the thing. So maybe break the shell in one of these little guys, like this. And that way, if you happen to have shells in there, you can get them out that way and then maybe pour them in. Oh, that looks so good, you guys. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm totally gonna take a picture. I'm kind of excited. Don't break it. Thank you, Gigi. I know, right? Have you made this before? You're not, have you made, oh, I already forgot how to say it. Shakshuka. Shakshuka. Have you made shakshuka before? It looks really pretty and amazing. So I totally want to. Totally want to eat it. All right, last one. So I'm using 4 eggs. Nope, but it will be delish. Thank you very much for your encouragement, my friend. All right, egg into said thing. Did not break any of those yolks. What? Like, no joke, you guys. I'm a bull in a china shop, and none of those broke, and it still looks really pretty. Hold on, I'm gonna show you because I'm so excited. Okay, here we go. Can you guys, hold on. I'm gonna try and where it doesn't steam. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Did I have, oh, I thought I got lipstick on my, sorry. Nope. I shouldn't do that. But, so this now is going to, we're gonna cook this for between 8 and 10 minutes, just until the whites cook through. I like a good runny egg, so maybe it'll be, instead of 8 to 10, maybe it'll be more like 8. I don't know, I'm gonna watch it, but then I'll post a picture because unless you guys wanna talk for 8 minutes, I don't have anything else to say. You've seen the kale chips, you've seen the shakshuka. Oh, one other thing. Okay, so with the shakshuka, they recommended, you know, really like bread and potatoes and stuff. So let's not do that to ourselves. Instead, one suggestion that I have is to make cloud bread. And if you've never made it before, it is legit. It looks so intimidating, but it's so easy, and you can freeze the bread once you've made it. And essentially it is Greek yogurt, it is protein powder and egg whites and eggs separated, and it takes 50 minutes to cook, but it takes like 6 minutes to prepare. So I can't recommend that highly enough. You could take a slice of that, toast it in a skillet, and then have that alongside this. You would legit will be your people's best friend. And then club soda. And if you can, do vodka, do vodka. Because that's a great little brunch additive, right? Not if you're on the 5-in-1. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully you enjoy. Oh, and Cass Russ. I haven't seen Cass Russ in forever. Hi, Mama. Have you made shakshuka before? I feel like you've probably made a bunch of different things. I feel like you probably made a bunch of different things. I don't know what shakshuka has. I don't think anybody has, to be honest with you. So, okay. I think that's pretty much it. So, shakshuka, Israeli dish, main components were red pepper, tomatoes, kale, and eggs, but with a lot of spices that really smell like ridiculous. It should take, wait, yeah, hey lady. Yes, Chris makes it for me. How is that even possible? Are you from Israel? I've literally never even seen this dish before. So now I'm suspect as to, like, are you a spy? What's happening? It's so stupid. All right. Hope you have a great night. Happy hump day. Talk to you later. Bye.